Hi everyone, welcome back to another yoga video. Today we are focusing on relieving back pain. This is something that I have been dealing with lately, so I wanted to make a video about it. But our backs play a really important role in our everyday. Those muscles help us to move, they support our spine, and it's because of those muscles that we can bend and twist. So we really want to make sure that we are taking good care of them. So the poses today are going to do a little bit of strengthening and also going to be relaxing those muscles so that we can relieve some of the tension and pain. So whenever you are ready, grab your mat and let's get started. So we are starting today just in a comfortable seated position, and we're going to start with our breath, getting ourselves used to taking in our inhales through the nose and exhaling through our mouth. We're just going to repeat this a few times together before we get started in our first pose. Let's take one more inhale, then exhale. Then let's start to move into our side stretch. Keeping one leg in, let's go ahead and extend the other. Then we're going to come into our bend towards the extended leg. As you start to slowly move into this forward fold, really want you to listen to your body as you're doing this. You do not have to come all the way down to the ground with your fold. So again, really listening to your own body and seeing where a good stopping point is for you. Either way, we're still getting in that stretch to the hamstring, the hips, and the spine. So do not feel like you have to force yourself down into this pose. If you are ready, let's go ahead and move our side stretch onto the other leg. And we just want to keep taking those inhales through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Let's start to slowly bring ourselves back up from our fold as we get ready to go into our seated twist. Now for our seated twist, we are going to take our right leg and put it over the left. Then we are going to take our left leg and bring it under us. Once we are in this position, we are going to elongate our spine, take that opposite arm, so our left, and bring it to the outside of our right leg. You'll notice that when you do this, you already start to make this twist. We're just going to go more into it by placing that right hand behind us and looking over that shoulder. Seated twist is not just stretching our lower back, but this is also opening our hips. The hips can be a place where we store a lot of stress, so maybe in this pose we think about the things that we want to let go of. We could even pair that with our exhales and just imagine these things leaving us, giving us a sense of peace as they go their own way. If you are ready, let's go ahead and take that twist onto the other side, bringing our left leg over the right, taking that right leg in. Then we can take that opposite hand, which is our right, bring it to the outside of our left leg, and you'll start to feel that twist. We want to continue to elongate our spine and continue to take those inhales through the nose and exhales through the mouth. Let's take one more breath and then come into our pigeon pose. For me, the easiest way to come into pigeon pose is to first come onto all fours. But once we are there, we're going to take our right knee, bring it to our right wrist, but at the same time, we are taking the right ankle and we're putting it in front of our left hip. Once here, I like to open my chest and do a little bit of a back bend before bringing myself down further into the stretch. You can stay up in this pose, or if you want to feel it more, go ahead and bring yourself down closer to the ground. Pigeon pose is going to help with tight hips and opening the hips, as well as helping to give some relief to our back. So overall, Pigeon is helping us release. Whenever you are ready, let's start to inch back up out of Pigeon and come on to the other side now. This time taking the left knee to the left wrist while keeping the left ankle in front of the right hip. Then, if you would like, feel free to join me in a bit of a back bend first, and then we can start to move further into this stretch. When you are ready, let's start to come out of Pigeon, and we're going to find ourselves on our backs as we come into our supine twist. As you're coming onto your back, let's see how slow we can bring ourselves down, doing it with control. For this pose, we are going to take our right knee, bring it across the left side of our body. You can place your left hand on your right knee for support. And with our right, we are going to extend it over on that right side. And that is where we're going to look. In this pose, we are releasing that tension in our back muscles while also giving it a good stretch. If you want to add more relaxation to this pose, feel free to close your eyes and deepen your inhales and exhales. let's start to find a point where we can go ahead and move this stretch onto the other side, doing the same as before, except now we are taking that left knee across the right side of our body, extending the left arm and using that right hand on our left knee for added support. For our next pose, we are going to come into knees to chest. Knees to chest is going to help us continue to stretch the lower back. This is also meant to be a soothing pose. So here, let's really embrace this time of rest. We can also add a little bit of movement, rocking side to side, kind of massaging those back muscles. When you're ready, let's go ahead and rock ourselves up, and we're going to come into our cat-cow. Cat-cow is going to help us strengthen the flexibility of our spine. So to get started, we are going to inhale on cow. This is chest open, bringing the head up, and then exhaling on cat. This is when we bring the abdomen in, we're arching our spine, and we're bringing the head down. We will continue to repeat this movement, linking it with our inhales and exhales. As we move through these movements, maybe we use it to connect further with our body, just noting any sensations that we may be feeling and really getting in touch with ourselves and asking ourselves how we are feeling, how is our body feeling. Let's take one more breath together, and then let's come into our downward dog, finding that neutral position in all fours, and then pressing into the palms as we lift our hips, bringing them back towards the mat. Here you can keep a slight bend in the knees if you want, or you can even walk it out like I am. We just want to keep listening to our body and finding what is right for us. As we are in downward dog, it is helping to relieve tension in the back and also in the neck. Let's start to get ready to come into our next pose. So let's find a neutral spine and come onto all fours. And when you're ready, we're going to come into puppy pose. You're going to have your legs a little bit more than hip width apart. And then we're going to start to walk our hands down to the front of our mat and let our chest really melt into the floor. This pose can be intense, so we won't be here long, but while we are, we're going to try and continue with our breaths. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Let's take a couple of more breaths here, and then we're going to start to ease out of puppy pose. Then, when you are ready, go ahead and come into Shavasana. Find a place where you feel comfortable, as we will be holding this position for a few minutes. But I always like to start with doing a body scan, starting at the head and shoulders and releasing any tension there, letting yourself relax, then moving down to the chest, the arms, releasing, moving down to the stomach, the legs, really letting yourself melt into the floor and release, letting the feet, the toes relax, letting the hands and fingers relax. I invite you to close your eyes and take your inhales and exhales deeper, letting each breath take you further into rest. let's start to add movement back in, wiggling the hands, the fingers, moving the toes, the feet. Maybe here you start to take a big stretch. Let's start to open our eyes and come onto our side, just resting here for a few moments. Whenever you are ready, let's start to bring ourselves back up. We're going to find ourselves in a seated position where we will close out this flow together. Together, let's take one inhale, hold it, and exhale. Hands to the sky, hands to head. I choose kind thoughts. Hand to mouth. I choose kind words. Then hand to heart. I choose to always be myself. Namaste. I just wanted to close out this video telling you thank you for joining me. I hope that you liked this video. I'm sending you good vibes until next time. Bye.